Brad Marchand is one of the most polarizing figures in the NHL, a player equally capable of dazzling skill and rat-like antics. As a cornerstone of the Boston Bruins, he's carved out a reputation as both an elite winger and the league's ultimate agitator. Whether he's scoring highlight reel goals, delivering clutch playoff performances, or stirring up controversy with dirty plays and relentless chirping, Marchand thrives in the role of villain. Loved in Boston and hated just about everywhere else, he's the kind of player who gets under your skin. Whatever it is, we all have our opinion of him. But what if we asked AI? Brad Marchand. Oh, where do we even begin? Nicknamed the Little Ball of Hate, he's basically the NHL's version of that one guy in drop-in hockey who insists on wearing full gear, chirps relentlessly, and still somehow manages to trip over his own skates at least once a game. If pettiness were an Olympic sport, Marchand would have more gold medals than Wayne Gretzky has points. Let's start with the fact that he's the most infamous pest in the league. Not a power forward, not a sniper, not a playmaker. Just a pest. You know, the kind of player who's equal parts effective and annoying. Like a mosquito that somehow scores 20 goals a season. Marchand has spent his entire career blurring the line between gritty competitor and guy who should probably be ejected every other game. He's got the talent to be a star, but his true passion lies in licking people. Yes, that actually happened. Slew-footing unsuspecting players and throwing cheap shots that make even his own teammates cringe. And speaking of the licking incident, how did that even become a thing? In what world does a professional athlete decide that a good way to get under an opponent's skin is by literally getting under their skin with his tongue? Imagine being so desperate to win a mental battle that you just abandon all normal hockey chirps and go full kindergarten. Oh, you're playing tight defense? Guess I'll just lick your face. That's not intimidation. That's a desperate cry for attention and possibly a misunderstanding of what sport he's playing. Then there's his on-ice antics. Marchand doesn't just cross the line. He skates past it, turns around, and slashes it in the back of the knees. He has been suspended and fined so many times that the NHL's Department of Player Safety might as well have him on speed dial. Whether it's a dirty hit, a sneaky slew foot, or an unnecessary elbow to the face, you can always count on Marchand to provide some extracurricular nonsense. He's like that kid in gym class who couldn't just play dodgeball. He had to throw the ball at people's faces when the teacher wasn't looking. But let's talk about his actual hockey skills for a second, because as much as it pains us to admit, the guy is good. He scores goals, he makes plays, he's a legitimate first-line winger. But the problem is, he still plays with the maturity of a guy who just lost a game of NHL 25 and threw his controller at the TV. It's as if every time he scores a highlight reel goal, he immediately cancels it out by trying to two-hand chop someone so aggressively that even his own coach is embarrassed. And let's not forget that he played for the Boston Bruins, the team that basically ran on a steady diet of anger, arrogance, and nobody believes in us energy, despite the fact that they've been perennial contenders for over a decade. Marchand embodies that everyone's out to get us mentality perfectly. Every time he gets suspended, he whines about how unfair the league is, as if he didn't just deliberately elbow a guy in the head after the whistle. Dude, if you don't want to get punished, maybe don't play the game like you're fighting in the octagon. And can we just talk about his face? Not in a mean way. Oh, okay, maybe a little. But if you asked a cartoonist to draw the most punchable NHL player, they would just sketch Marchand and call it a day. He's got that smug, smirking expression that makes you want to check your screen to see if he's just committed another penalty. He has that on-ice presence of a guy who just targeted your head and is now complaining to the ref about you diving. It's honestly impressive. Off the ice, he tries to play the role of the lovable, funny guy, but we all know the truth. This is a man who wakes up every morning and chooses violence. He tweets like he's 13 years old discovering internet trolling for the first time. He pretends to be the ultimate Bruins tough guy, but then he flops harder than a soccer player. He wants to be both the agitator and the victim, the hero and the villain. Pick a lane, Brad. At the end of the day, Marchand is one of those players that you hate, unless he's on your team. And even then, you probably still hate him a little. He's the definition of a necessary evil for the Bruins. Sure, he can put up 30 goals a season, but he'll also probably get himself suspended at the worst possible moment. It's a package deal. You get elite production, but you also get a guy who might just start choking an opponent for no reason whatsoever. So, Brad Marchand, congratulations, you've somehow made yourself one of the most simultaneously talented and infuriating players in the NHL. You've built a career on walking the line between star player and chaos agent, and for that, we have to give you credit. But let's be honest, deep down, even Bruins fans, and now Panthers fans, know that you're one bad decision away from another suspension, and that's why you'll always be hockey's most lovable and detestable little ball of hate. Well, what are your thoughts? Do you think Brad Marchand is the ultimate villain, or is he really just a hero? Let us know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.